Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap yourselves in because here, spawning on the eastern part of Antigua Shipyard, weighing in at a total of 130 pounds, is our Blue Zerg player, Empireviolet! And his opponent, spawning on the southern part of the Antigua Shipyard, weighing in at a stifling 180 pounds, is our Red Terran player, LiquidJinro! Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have one question to ask you, and that is, are you ready to rumble? Because let's get ready to rumble! Okay, I'm sorry I did that, but I am kind of in a silly mood right now. I'm like really hyper and super excited for reasons I can't tell, so I had to just try that opening. I always wanted to try doing that ever since I started casting, and here, again, spawning on the eastern part of the Antigua Shipyard is our Blue Zerg player, Empireviolet. I won't do the voice again, at least I'll try and refrain from doing so. And of course his opponent, LiquidJinro, spawning on the southern half, so TVZ on Antigua Shipyard. Somewhat of pretty close. Yeah, I'd consider this the second closest positions in the map. I think this and this, for some reason, to me seems really close, although it's probably exactly the same. And as we can see here, LiquidJinro, he is putting up his barracks to start off a wall, and this is from the Korean ladder, by the way, for anyone who is wondering. And looks like this SCV might go down. No, Violet just trying to get that slight little advantage there. Gas coming up there for Jinro as well, so looks like he's not going to be doing a gasless expand at all. Would not be surprised to see a reactored Hellion opening, because that's just kind of what you do in TVZ. If you're not going reactored Hellion, then you're going probably Reaper or like a 2-Rax. That's usually what I've noticed when it comes to the TVZs. And that drone wanted to really kill that SCV, but the SCV was pissed. I mean, he's at 20 health. He's like, all right, you know, I'm not even going to try and interpret or trying to impersonate an SCV, because I apparently can't do the voice at all. And then we can see the wall off is being completed. And, of course, Violet, I just forgot Control N, going for his 15 hatch. It says Razor Violet. He is a part of Team Razor, but Team Razor kind of spans through different teams. Right now he is on Empire. This is before he got signed to Empire, I think like days before. So, you know, it's not horribly old, but you know, it's not that old. No, it's like a week or so. I don't consider that really old when it comes to this. Now, if it's like from a tournament that everyone saw, or like a last patch game, I'm not going to do it. And we can see here that the factory is coming up. There's going to be the reactor. So yes, it is indeed a reactored Hellion opening here coming up from Jinro. Of course, the second, or the expansion now just finishing up for Razor, or for Razor. Yes, his name's Razor, for Violet. And that drone just slowly healing up. He's licking his wounds from this SCV who inflicted some hurt upon him, and a Roach Warren come up here for Violet. Very interesting. I don't know if he's already scouted the Hellions. No, but I'm guessing he's assuming a reactored Hellion. This is in the Korean ladder, and almost every Terran on the Korean ladder that I have seen so far does a reactored Hellion opening. Like, nice little micro there from Jinro. Queen on its way. The Roach Warren is, oh man, the Roach Warren will actually finish when the Hellions get out, so that's not exactly going to be good for Jinro. He's not going to be able to put much hurt on the Zerg at all. And we can see these 4 Lings taking out those 2 Marines, and they're just going to kind of take a little control. They're going to do some scouting. This Overlord, don't know if it's, yes, he does see this expansion. And 5 Roaches coming up here for Violet. Don't know if he's getting aggressive here, or yes, he is actually, because there is no mining in this base. So looks like Violet is going to be kind of opting for like a variation of the 7 Roach Rush. For those who don't know, the 7 Roach Rush consists of you getting it's like the 6 pool of roaches. You get your spawning pool naturally, then you go for you go gas pool, then Roach Warren, and you save this all in one base. You get your queen, and your first larva inject, you use that to make roaches, and it always comes down to 7 roaches. That's why it's called the 7 Roach Rush. Now here, 4 Hellions are complete, and a single Marine. They saw the roaches coming in, and I don't think these Hellions don't do that much damage against roaches, as we can see doing there. Violet microing his roaches back. He's going to have to lift up this command center if he's going to want to keep that. SCV is so screwed, and he is actually morphing it into an orbital command. That's not good for Jinro at all. That's unless he feels, oh, it's just 5 roaches, or no, 4 roaches. I'm going to be able to easily get that done. And here we can see a Marauder actually was made as well. So here come, how much Hellions is that? 4 more Hellions, SCVs, and a Marauder coming out here, as well as a single Marine, a Ling, and the SCVs were pulled. Of course, I've already said that. And they're going to be pushed back or just completely burnt to a delicious little crisp. Nothing like barbecue roach for the morning. Well, actually, no, that's not a morning breakfast. That's not a breakfast food. Fried roach would be more like a barbecue food. You know, everyone's had that barbecue. You know, you go out, you have a bunch of steak, burgers, brats, and hot dogs, and all those goody goods. And you know, sometimes you just make some roasted, some barbecued roach and barbecued ling. I'm not a big fan of barbecued Hydralis. It's something about it. They're kind of like chewy and stringy. So, yeah, that's my take on eating Zerg, which I don't think would be good, because then technically the contaminant virus, the Zerg infestation, would actually probably go through you, and you'd be like Sarah Kerrigan, but not looking good. You'd be all like, you'd look like an infested Terran, most likely, minus the helmet. And as we can see here, the tanks are coming out here, starting to get the tanks out for Jinro. Reactor barracks finished, and siege mode is on its way. So nice little opening from both of them, kind of going back and forth. Evo chamber, as well as another spine crawler, is coming up for Violet. He kind of knows he's a little vulnerable right now because of that failed pressure, and he's forced to make a couple more roaches and a bit of lings by the looks of it, because he just doesn't feel safe right now. And you know, you'll see players, they often will make a lot of stuff just because they feel like they're vulnerable right now. It's not that uncommon to see, and actually I think it's a pretty good thing, because if you feel you're vulnerable, then you probably are, especially if you're at this level. So yeah, everything going good. 4 Hellions are going to try and see if they can do any sort of harass, but no, they're going to actually take the middle of the map here. Lings are going to come in, and with the great micro and superior speed of Hellions. Actually, no, I think Lings have superior speed. Let's see here. 0.7 and no, that's their weapon speed. 4.25 to 4.7. Okay, so Lings do have a superior speed to Hellions. I probably should have guessed that, considering that I've had my Hellions run down so easily by Zerglings. So yeah, great observation skills coming here from Nerdcraft. You heard it first, people. This is like the eyewitness news of StarCraft 2. And apparently it's a boxing match with that introduction that I had. Pathogen glands coming up. The infestation pit has just finished. Of course, it would have to have for the pathogen glands to come up. Glitter Constitution is about to finish, so it does look like Violet is going to be committing to a Roachling composition. Roachling, I was about to say Roachling Hydra, but no, not against Terran. Roachling Infestor composition. So yeah, I'll actually prefer to watch that as opposed to the standard Ling Mutalisk and Baneling against Terran, just because, you know, you see that so often. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. He's got really good control. The Baneling bombs are like, okay, you never just go like, oh yeah, those Baneling bombs are explosion. You always yell, you're like, holy crap, Banelings. But you know, it's kind of nice to see a deviation of skill. And of course, this is on the ladder, so it can be a little bit more experimental as to what's going on. Jinro, he did see those roaches coming up for Violet. That's 10 roaches coming up for him. And I know level 1 Carapace is just about to finish, so they are armored a little nice. They are a little more durable now. And level 2 Carapace coming up, so looks like Violet, he's concentrating on his armor. He wants to make sure that those Lings and roaches can get right up to the tanks and just hug them, and, you know, puke acid all over them, which from anyone's standpoint, that's not pleasant. Even the roaches don't enjoy it. Jinro loading up a drop here. Looks like he's going to want to do some harass. It is pretty vulnerable in the bases, seeing as the main army for Violet is over here, and you know, it's not exactly the fastest because of his creep spread, and he is going to be moving his infestors and Lings out right as this drop comes in. So you can see here, it's not going to be spotted. It's actually right in the one spot that is not seen, and Jinro hasn't remembered that. There it goes. Now he's going to stim right in, and he's going to, looks like he's going to focus down the Queen. And great reaction time there for Violet, moving his pulling back his drones right away. A single drone goes down, as well as an Overlord, and the Lings are going to come in, but great stutter set there coming from Jinro. He's learned from the best. He does practice with the in the OGS house, so that's where he gets that great micro skills, and you can see 4 drones were lost, so it wasn't exactly the greatest of it wasn't exactly huge economic harass, but he didn't lose a single marine. He took out 2 overlords and a queen, so he didn't halt production, but he slowed it down pretty well. 9 more roaches and lings coming out here for Violet, and the queen now just coming back out for Violet as well. I feel like I'm saying Violet a lot. 2 spine crawlers coming up. He's well aware that there's drops, and I don't know, they're not actually being built, they're being transferred. So that's going to leave this expansion actually pretty vulnerable to drops as well, even run-bys. Well, there's kind of this protecting from run-bys. And Jinro, I think he's just using this medevac to kind of scout around and everything. That poor Marine dying in horrible, excruciating pain. Hellions, they're going to take out the and a tank. Wow, wow. Oh, that's just right out of range. It's like, that is crazy. I thought it was like right here or something for some reason, so it's just like, whoa. Here come the lings, though. They're going to try and get a surround on the tanks. Luckily, there are tanks in the back. More tanks being sieged up. There's just tanks everywhere. And it looks like this is going to be denied pretty well. This SCV just wants to work on his missile turret, but unfortunately, his science project was destroyed by the mean bully that is jealous of everyone's smarts. And as you can see, the medevac getting fungal growth and just slowly chipped away by the queen. But oh man, it looks like Jinro actually forgot about it, so he loses 7 marines for free. Well, didn't forget about it, but he wasn't paying attention at the time, which is always a very unfortunate thing. And these roaches are gonna start just spitting some acid. They don't actually spit, in case you didn't know. See, if you look, when they attack, they duck their head down, and the acid like comes out of their backs. But here come the lings and the infestors from both angles here. No fungal growth going down because the lings and the roaches are just able to get a superior surround there. These are going to be hard to take out these tanks over there just because you're not going to be able to get the surround. And also, this one's on the high ground. This tank on the ramp, though, is going to be taken out. And now the roaches are in vision of the tank, and the infested Terran are going to be taking that tank out right now. Another expansion there being built by Jinro. This one is still fine. Planetary Fortress being morphed. But, what am I trying to say here? Jinro's entire army is completely caught off guard here, getting completely surrounded and destroying like a majority of his tanks, actually all of his tanks except for these 2 and this one too. And those lings kind of ran by. A Banshee being made too. I didn't even notice that Jinro went for a starport, or a tech lab starport I should say. I would have figured he'd gone for a starport because he had a medevac and everything. So I'm kind of surprised that he decided to opt for Banshees. Of course, always getting some late game harass that'll catch a player off guard is really nice. So we can see that Hive is already finished for Violet, and he is getting his adrenal gland upgrades and an Ultralist Cavern already at the 18-minute mark. That's what I completely botched that whistle. Like, oh yeah, guys, look what I can do. And then I was kind of like, sorry about that. I'll try to refrain from ever whistling when I'm casting again. Yeah, this Overlord, he's kind of like looking at that really cool planet that's it has the rings and it's orbiting, which would be pretty fast. It kind of looks like that's where Desert Oasis is actually. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. And Jinro just getting to back up his forces of Marines and tanks. Yeah, I'm still surprised. There's a drop. I want to know where this Banshee is. There she is. She's gonna focus down that. She's gonna be focusing down that queen now. I don't really agree with this late game Banshee harass against Terran, mainly because of infestors and the fact that you can easily get an overseer right away. So yeah, I don't really agree with going into the Banshee harass late in the game against Terran or against Zerg, just because it's so easily countered. It feels like you can do it against a Terran player or a Protoss player, and just be fine. But I don't really agree with doing it against a Zerg. Actually, against a Protoss would probably be a bad choice as well. Ooh, using the map symmetry to actually siege up and try and take out a handful of roaches here. He did manage to take out the queen. No, he didn't actually. He did take out a couple of roaches, and that one Marine dying a lonesome death, level 3 carapace coming up. So that is why Violet was actually opting for carapace upgrades instead of melee upgrades, because he's getting Ultralisk as fast as he can. I've never seen Ultras really out at the 20-minute mark, especially this amount. Infestor is going to burrow. They want to get that infested Terran buffer line so the siege tanks to absorb that. That's usually what happens. You see some Lings crashing into the siege tanks here, and a command center is going to be made. Don't know if that's going to be morphed into a defensive planetary or not, but Jinro is pretty like, yeah, Jinro is, he's kind of a little behind you. He's only been so far, he's not been able to really seize control of the middle of the map, which is never good. Infestors spreading out now in case the scan goes down and all of them die. Oh, come on, Jinro. You should scan right here to see if the army's there. Just do it. I don't just want to see all the blood shoot out of the ground. And, wow, that's really sick of me. And this expansion actually taken out by a drop. And what was that sound? Oh, I think it's the sound that larvae make. And here comes the engagement right now. Infested Terran going down. The Ultras are going to crash against these tanks line, but they are in a little bit of a channel. They're going to be able to be focused down, but the Infested Terran taking out all those tanks up on the high ground. These two tanks are going to be the fighter, the last stand kind of guys. They're the ultimate defense right here because they cannot be seen. Planetary Fortress going to work at these Ultras. Managed to take out an Infestor, but all of these Lings or all these SCVs are going to go down, and I keep clicking the wrong buttons, and so does the Planetary Fortress. This command center unfortunately is going to go down as well because it is on fire. When you're on fire, it's usually not a good thing, at least I've heard. Tanks kind of try to focus down these Ultras, and yet these tanks only have a level 1 upgrade. They only have the level 1 cryo shock cannon, which sounds really freaking cool. SCV's coming over here to get ready to repair, and here comes the Ultras onto the wall. These tanks are going to try and focus down the Ultras, but unfortunately Infested Terran, unfortunately with this Overseer, they had vision of the high ground. That Infested Terran got put down on the tank. Looks like Violet is going to retreat for now. He does have 7 Ultralisks, and yeah, that's, I don't know, I feel, oh, Marauders, complete tech switch into Marauders, really fast one. Get that repaired, Jinro. Okay, good. And another Banshee coming out, so I think he's dealing with these, he's using these Banshees mainly because there is almost no anti-air aside from Infestors, and they're mainly using Infested Terran to focus down cannons. So yeah, these Banshees, they're going to be pretty well utilized actually against the Ultras. I suppose I take back Banshee Harass late game against Zerg I don't agree with, but using Banshees is a good part of the composition. Cloak, Jinro, Cloak, good. And watch this, fun roll. Oh no, there's an Overseer there, so never mind. Zergling's just, it looks like Violet just kind of, you know, misplacing his rally point. And a lot of SCVs being transferred over here, but Lings are going to do a run by here. No, they're just going to hold position. It's SCVs versus Lings. It's not really in favor of the SCVs at all, but the Marines do come in to reinforce. Level 3 infantry weapons going to finish right now, and as you see, Violet is going to go for the gold, and Jinro is just going to go for his 4th, but unfortunately going to be denied by a single Zergling. So yeah, oh man, those Fungal Girls actually missing, and this Banshee's doing a lot more than expected. Probably should be doing kind of a wasted fungal growth going off right there, but hey, you know, to each his own. Whoever, you know, if you want to just cover a helicopter in 1,500 layers of gritty, goopy green gunk, that's a lot of G's right there. The only other G word I could think of right now is like grubby. It's like, you know, goopy, grubby grime, goopy, grubby, green grime. And grubby, I don't know why he's in there, I suppose, because, like, fungal growth is really powerful. It's really good, and so is grubby. I suppose that's why I'm including him. He's one of my favorite players, so I like to talk about him. Drops with Marauders and Marines mixed coming down here. I like this because Marauders are just able to really eat through buildings. And as you can see here, Jinro going to try and focus down the hive. He should be going for this Greater Spire, but he does not see it at all. The army streaming in. Can he focus down this hive? And it does go down. All the tech for Violet now is gone, but fortunately for him, he already has the tech buildings necessary for it. And, you know, if Jinro's really lucky, this creep will recede and the Greater Spire will actually, you know, die off before it could really do, like, not really do much, but, you know, before the constant stream of Broodlords start coming out. I always have a hard time pronouncing Broodlords for some reason. I have no idea. Let's check out the economy of these players, though. I kind of am curious. Jinro way behind right there, and he rebuilt the Planetary Fortress. I actually pointed at the screen about that. I don't know why. 41 harvesters to 71, or no, 41 SCVs to 72 drones. So definite economic lead there for Violet. If the numbers didn't convince you otherwise, it would definitely be because of this gold, which most Zerg players don't really opt to go for right away unless it's a ZVZ or a ZVP. But against Terran, the Terran's been known to really take that third gold right away. And you see another drop. Going to try and focus down the Greater Spire, which will actually go down really fast. Jinro is not paying attention to that drop. The army's here. They're kind of like looking at each other, waving. It's like, look, guys, we'll just make a contract. You can stay there. Just don't move, and we'll stay over here away from you guys. Wow, Ultros has 4 tusks. I didn't notice that. Interesting. This is the scary... Oh, there goes the stim. Focus down the Greater Spire, dude. Oh, no, he's going to go for the pool. That's actually probably a smarter idea. And then the Greater Spire. I like that a lot. Almost all of the tech there going down. But, you know, the Broodlords are already in production. 3 Vikings on the way, as well as 2 Ghosts. So Snipes and Vikings, really nice. And this is pretty much going to be what Violet can do, because you cannot remake Broodlords or Lings. But, of course, massive Fungal Growths going down on all the Marines, all that Bio Force that he made to counter the Ultras. And this is not looking good for Jinro at all. He's going to... this Planetary Fortress is doing a good job, but should be focusing down the Ultras. Instead, it was going for the Broodlings. Focus the Ultras. Curse you, Planetary Fortress. Do it. And, you know, it's kind of ironic that there is air units out for Violet, but he's not going to be able to take out that Flying Command Center. And there are no other anti-air aside from Infested Terran and Queens. So these Vikings are going to reign free in the air. There's a lot of transfuses, though, and now that all the Vikings go down, and they're going to make a beeline straight for the main base. And Jinro is no longer mining anything. This is completely mined out, and this was not ever established. So he does not have any income right now. You don't believe me? There it is. So these Broodlords are really going to start destroying everything. If he loses these Vikings, that's going to be it. There's no way that Jinro will be able to win the game. And it looks like he is going to lose this Viking. I think he just he already knows he lost. I think he already knows he's lost. So I think he's just kind of looking over like, what did I do wrong? Or he's trying to opt for the base race with just this bit of bio right there. But I don't think he'd be able to really hold that off. Banshee over there as well. So I think he's just trying to take out what he can right now and trying to figure out what exactly did he do wrong. That's at least my guess. Of course, I'm not in the head of Jinro. I don't know him on a personal level, so I can't really say that, oh yeah, he's totally doing this or that. And there it is. Jinro leaves without a GG. He must have been frustrated or something. He usually is a pretty well-mannered guy, but hey, you know what? I'd be pissed too. Just like, yes, I'm gonna drop. No, that doesn't work. Okay, I'll try dropping here. No, that doesn't work. So yeah, I can see how it gets frustrating for some players. And you know, when people don't GG, I don't really care. It's like, oh, he didn't GG in like a tournament. That's kind of like not good. But if you like don't GG in a ladder match, it's like, oh, well, I guess he's upset or something. I don't really care personally if someone doesn't GG, because yeah, if you're upset, go ahead, be upset. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I enjoyed casting it. I'm sure you can tell just from my intro how much fun I had doing this game. And if you like more games like this, please subscribe to my channel. I can promise you 2 things: high action games and at least 3 games a day. That is my promise to you guys. If you subscribe, I already do that. I'm putting out tons of videos, as you guys probably have noticed, and I'm going to make sure that I keep putting out tons of videos just for you guys, because you know what? I love StarCraft, you love StarCraft, I cast StarCraft, you watch StarCraft. It's a mutual benefit. And also, you can follow me on Twitter if you so desire. I am at nerd_craft. You just get updates of when I'm casting, what I'm going to be casting, when I go live on my stream, which is usually just on the weekends. And it's my ladder matches with commentary as well as analysis. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. My name is Nerdcraft. That's it. I am out.